Every year I release a video about my top value picks. This year I took a vote and 50% of those who voted asked that I also make a video of stuff I personally liked over the course of 2021. This is gear that I might or might not have considered as value. These are just my personal favorites for one reason or another. Just because I like one of these products doesn't mean you should buy it. Instead, treat this video as a kind of a guide to understand the eclectic taste I tend to have. Near the end of this video, I'll also give you my Santa's naughty list of stuff to avoid. This is not a full review of any of the products I mention. If you want more information about any of this gear, please watch their respective videos. One of my favorite headphones is the Shure SRH 1540. This was among the first products I reviewed in 2021, and I was quite surprised with it. The 1540 is well built, comfortable, comes with a full set of accessories, and has a neutral-leaning sound signature. But beyond that, the 1540 provides two things I look for. First, comfort. Second, vocal smoothness. If a headphone is uncomfortable, I will struggle to wear it. The 1540 is light and its ear pads are gentle pillows. I've never had a problem wearing these. Vocal smoothness for me means that a headphone does not accentuate sibilance or vocal grain. I listen to a lot of pop, modern rock, and hip-hop, and some headphones make listening to these genres quite fatiguing. The 1540 is the opposite. Even the harshest recordings are bearable. The one issue I have with the 1540 is the proprietary cables. They feel a little cheap. The Blue Ella is another headphone I have come to appreciate a lot. It looks like an alien gave birth to a bird, but don't let the looks deceive you. The Ella is a comfortable headphone. It isolates well. It's got a premium build, and it has an internal amplifier that lets you plug this headphone into any device without concern. The Ella has a balanced sound signature and competes with the better-known planar headphones. In my view, the internal amplifier is a game changer. Yeah, maybe audeze headphones look sexier, but the Ella is actually unique. The Status Audio BT1 is another headphone I was happy to recommend this year. This is still the only Status Audio headphone I own or have tested, but it's one of my go-to Bluetooth headphones. The BT1 doesn't have all the fancy Bluetooth codecs. It doesn't have stellar build. It is not waterproof. It doesn't have noise cancellation. It doesn't have touch control, and you don't get a mobile application. But the BT1 provides a warm, bassy sound signature that is fun. Listening to podcasts, hip-hop, rock, or pop is pretty entertaining on this headphone. The BT1 never makes recordings sound harsh. The BT1 is also one of a few on-ear headphones that I can actually wear for more than an hour. The Harmonic Dyne Zeus is a headphone I didn't think I would like, but ended up falling for it. The Honest Audiophile let me borrow his Zeus for my review, and during the review process, I had two thoughts. First, that the Zeus doesn't do anything particularly well. It's about average in soundstage, detail, separation, and placement. But the second thought I had was, I can't stop listening to this headphone. In my review, I concluded that the Zeus is not value, but I bought it anyway. And the reason is that this headphone has a smooth, easygoing sound signature. It's comfortable and can be easily powered with any source. No, it doesn't have technical superiority, and I think it is overpriced, but it does seem to work for my music. The Ultrasound Pro 1480i shows that just because a headphone is discontinued doesn't mean it's bad. Ultrasound makes a ton of headphones, and I'm fairly confident the company rehashes stuff every year. The 1480i is among the cheapest headphones they offer, but it's a surprisingly good one. The 1480i has good build, is comfortable, and has a unique sound signature. It's a bit analytical without the harsh treble or lean bass that comes with that kind of tuning. And the fact that this headphone can be found for between $100 and $200 is a bonus. I really like what it offers. Finally, the Austrian Audio Hi-X65. I reviewed the X55 last year and was amazed with its clarity, detail, and placement. Austrian Audio has a unique and rather different sound signature. It's divisive, but there's a good reason why. Austrian Audio makes headphones meant to reveal the imperfections in your mix. They are not neutral and they don't pretend to be. The X65 keeps the X55's comfort, excellent build, and revealing analytical sound. But the X65 has a little bit more bass than the X55. I use the X65 for orchestral and classical music along with a little bit of gaming, and the X65 gives me such a different experience from the vast majority of other headphones that it's hard not to appreciate it. I recently got into IEMs about 18 months ago. I use headphones more often, but IEMs are convenient and can be fun. And truth be told, it's easier to experiment with IEMs since you can find new releases every month for under $100. The Moondrop Aria is one of my favorite IEMs. It's got a warm, bassy tuning that doesn't shroud the mids. It's an easy IEM to listen to and works really well for most of the music I gravitate towards. It's built really well and comes with great accessories and fits me a lot better than the more expensive Starfield. The Moondrop Quarks was yet another excellent Moondrop product. I looked at their marketing and was very skeptical. But when I heard the Quarks, I was pleasantly surprised with its neutral sound signature. The Quarks is among the least flashy IEMs in the market, comes with bare-bones accessories, and does a passable job with fit and comfort. But it's $12, and for that price, I couldn't be happier. The Quarks is one of my benchmark IEMs when testing gear, and I use it for casual listening as well. The The Audio Legacy 2 is another IEM I keep going back to. It's got good build and accessories, but it doesn't have any technical superiority. What it does do for me is provide a smooth, gentle experience. I can't get these IEMs to sound harsh, and I've purposefully tried with all types of awful music. To chill out or help fall asleep, the Legacy 2 has a sound signature that is conducive to relaxing. I'm skeptical of the constant DAC and amp releases. Every 6 months or so, Topping, SMSL, or some small brand from Europe will release a new product, and the typical reviewers will fawn all over it. I do true A/B comparisons of these products, and I just can't get excited about the performance. There's rarely any difference. When I looked through my list of 2021 videos, I realized I really didn't do many DAC and amp reviews. I swear, it felt like I did. Regardless, I do have gear that I like. So I'm going to cheat just a little bit in this video and tell you about the amps, DACs, and combos that I've really liked from all of my reviews. My choice of DAC is the same as from last year, the Songcause LA-QX-D1. This product has worked flawlessly for me and connects to all of my devices without issues. For about $200, it's really hard to ask for a better DAC if all you want is neutral sound signature. The Topping E50 is also a very good product. For about $270, this little DAC has a neutral DAC, MQA support, all forms of high-resolution audio, and balanced output along with single-ended. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive for what you get, but I really couldn't find anything wrong with it. The only thing this DAC is missing is Bluetooth, and had that feature been included, then I think the E50 would easily top my list. The one quirk about the E50 is the 1/4-inch balanced output it has. I had to buy another cable because of that. And concurrently, because the E50 is one of my favorite products, so is the A50. These two products together in a stack make a compelling argument, though not necessarily the best value proposition in the long run. The one combo unit I keep going back to, the one I constantly recommend to people, is the Topping EX5. This is a collaboration between Topping and Shenzhen Audio, and boy did they do a great job. The EX5 is a $350 product and gives you everything you need in an all-in-one package. Bluetooth, MQA, high-res, single-ended, balanced, and a powerful amp is a lot for $350. It's one of my favorite products of the year and easily makes more expensive gear look silly in comparison. I mean, why the heck should you pay hundreds of dollars more for something like the D90 SE when the EX5 costs less and has more features? And frankly, it's not like the DACs sound different. The QLX QA390 is probably one of the most unnecessary and overly ambitious amp DACs I have ever used. It's nearly $1,500 and clearly is not something most people should ever consider buying. But this thing does what others can't. It's got a slightly analytical tuning, every form of headphone connection you can think of, a powerful amplifier, a built-in DAP, portability, and a DAC-only output. This is a jack of all trades. Obviously, I can't take this thing for a walk, but the QA390 can easily replace a bunch of gear that I have. The Matrix Mini-I Pro 3 is a combo unit that I constantly use. Along with its predecessor, the original Mini-I, this amp DAC sits on my desk and has driven every headphone I have in my collection. The Pro 3 has all the typical high-res attributes of other products, but it also has Roon and AirPlay support, which I haven't seen in any product below the Pro 3's $1,000 price tag. And finally, my favorite, the RME 80i2 DAC. I use this thing for all of my reviews. It is my benchmark. If you've never heard of the 80i2, take a look at the website. These guys create a truly unique product that simply cannot be found anywhere else. No other brand is doing what RME has done with the 80i2. If you're interested in this product, take a look at their online manual. Go through it, and you might actually be entertained by what's in there. Think about all the features that the RME 80i2 has and whether it can be for you. In my experience, the 80i2 fits perfectly in my testing gear and for my casual listening. It's got a neutral tuning and a plethora of software features that I use and get confused by because there's so many. I have a list of portable devices I've come to enjoy quite a bit. This includes DAPs, dongle DACs, and wireless IMs. This stuff is gear I've used regularly and enjoy for various reasons for their portability. The Sony NW-A55 is one of my favorite DAPs. It's not the fastest or the prettiest or the most powerful, but Sony created a product that is entirely unique. The A55 has a slightly warm sound signature and can easily drive headphones up to 300 ohms. The user interface takes time to get used to, but offers a lot of features. Sony gives you several DSP options that you might like, and the A55 is a truly pocketable device. If you get tired of the A55's stock firmware, you can experiment with the free third-party firmware from Mr. Walkman. The OnDirect Atom 2 was a nice find. I like the form factor and the device just works. It's got a neutral sound signature and plenty of efficiency to drive headphones up to 300 ohms. It's plug and play with all devices and has great build. The Eco ITM01 is surprisingly good, I think. This device costs $50 and has a sturdy build. You get in-body controls and 3 EQ presets. Unfortunately, the ITM01 has a proprietary cable, but it seems sturdy. The 01 is a little hefty for use with the phone, but connecting to a PC or laptop is a perfect fit for me. It's a solid device and offers something unique in its price range. The Peacock Flight is a new product from Linsol and Peacock. These guys were able to create a true wireless earbud that works perfectly and retains the audiophile sensibilities. I love the design and tuning and also the touch controls. The Flight is a big departure from the Apple AirPod Pros, and I think that's a good thing. I wish the Flight had a mobile application, but other than that, this IEM is a solid addition to my collection. I have a couple of favorite brands. These are companies I love to do business with, since they each offer something different. The first is Hart Audio Cables. No surprise there, I'm sure. Hart makes some of the most affordable cables in the market. Each is handmade to order, and Hart has their proprietary connection system, which cuts down on cable costs in the long run. Hart has some of the best customer service in the business. These guys are my go-to cable providers. I hope people outside the United States can one day easily experiment with Hart's products. Sifka and Sendy are the same entity. For the last few years, these guys have released interesting product one after the other. The Ava, Phoenix, Robin, and Peacock are all good products in their own rights. While this gear won't get universal praise, it's really nice to see Sifka and Sendy stick to their philosophy. They're making robust headphones that give competition to the big-name brands. Austrian Audio is yet another brand I've come to appreciate. They've got a specific design and a purposeful sound signature. Austrian Audio does things so differently from any other brand that I can't help but acknowledge their tenacity. A lot of people won't like the Austrian Audio headphones, but you'll definitely get an experience you've unlikely heard before. I appreciate Austrian Audio's AKG heritage and the company's creative abilities. So, that's it. That's all the stuff I loved this year. I mean, there was a lot I liked, but these products stood out to me. However, every year there are things I have to put on my Santa's naughty list, and I have a few names I should mention for that blacklist. Let's briefly talk about the stuff I really disliked in 2021. I started my 2021 headphones reviews with the Blonde BL30, and boy, that set a bad tone. The BL30 is among my least favorite headphones. In fact, I hate it. It's not because of the sound signature, which, as I said in my review, I liked. The problem is that the BL30 has awful construction, terrible fit, and some of the worst marketing I've seen this year. The BL30 doesn't fit normal heads. You have to do heavy modifications to the headband. And even after that, the ear cups don't make a full seal. So then you have to spend more money on thick, angled ear pads to compensate. That, of course, changes the sound signature. The BL30 is simply a disaster. I wouldn't recommend it at any price. It's a trash headphone that was pushed into the market by a company known for not giving the slightest care. Blonde should be ashamed of this product. Speaking of shame, let's not forget all of the big name brands with their high-priced headphones. I did a lengthy review of the Sennheiser Peacock and compared it against 14 other uber premium so-called endgame headphones. One thing that stood out among the vast majority is the lack of proper accessories. Audeze, Meze, Focal, Sony, ZMF, Dan Clark, and Sendy, all of these guys will charge over $1,000 for gear and don't provide extra ear pads or premium cables. This is really annoying, especially when the ear pads are proprietary, but that shouldn't even matter. When we pay premium prices, we should get premium packaging. This goes for cables too. I'm not talking about exotic materials, I just want a cable that doesn't look and feel like it was taken off a mass-produced assembly line. All of these brands need to get their acts together. Rebel Audio as a whole is on my naughty list. In May of 2021, I reviewed their Rebel amp. You know, the giant green amplifier that reviewers drooled over. I said it was a fine amp, but overpriced for what you were getting. Skip ahead several months and Rebel Audio tried to take my video down. They claimed a privacy violation and used YouTube's privacy policies as ammunition. The problem Rebel Audio had was, well, me. I posted updates about my interactions with Rebel Audio and the YouTube legal department, so if you're interested, go to the community tab on my channel. I don't know what these guys were actually thinking, but I have the impression they were upset I didn't give their overpriced Green Monster rave reviews. The fact is that Rebel Audio used nefarious steps to strike against my channel. They failed, miserably. They had to retract their complaint. So, for the aggravation they caused me for 48 hours, I have put Rebel Audio on my blacklist. These guys have no sense of ethics and are clearly untrustworthy. I'm glad I bought my Rebel amp secondhand and none of my money went to Rebel Audio. I won't recommend this company or its products. Speaking of bad companies, I can't not discuss Verum Audio. Look, I think the Verum 1 headphone is an interesting achievement. It's impressive that one person was able to create a planar magnetic headphone by themselves. That's nice. But when you're selling your products, you have to show some humility. You have to put the customer first. You have to be cordial and respectful. After all, you're taking their money. My Verum 1 review concluded that I could not recommend this product for two simple reasons. First, because the headphone had awful quality control. Second, because the warranty and refund policy is hands down the most anti-consumer I have yet seen. I mean, if you buy the headphones and a week later decide you don't like how they sound, you'll get charged a 50% restocking fee on top of the return shipping cost. Who has a 50% restocking fee? Then, factor in the contradictory statements from the owner of Verum Audio about how much power the Verum 1 actually needs, and you can imagine how annoyed I was throughout the process. But the reason Verum Audio is on my blacklist is not because of the Verum 1. It has everything to do with the ranting and raving the owner of Verum Audio did on my channel after he saw my review. In my opinion, it's impossible to trust a company that has that type of reaction. Lest you think I'm picking on the poor European companies, rest assured there are plenty of US manufacturers I struggle with. I mean, audeze, anybody? Hifi, unfortunately, happens to make this list. I have no idea what's going on inside Hifi's headquarters. They released a few good products last year, notably the ZenDAC, HipDAC, and ZenCan. But then Hifi released their special collaboration with Drop a few months later and added more confusion into the equation. And this year, in 2021, Hifi released their update to the HipDAC and jacked up the price. The HipDAC 2 does nothing new and has no material differences from last year's product other than a new paint job. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, then there's that little nagging issue with the Hifi Griffin. Apparently, the Griffin will go to maximum volume when connected to certain devices. So, unless you're very careful, you could destroy your gear or your hearing. How the heck Hifi managed to screw that up is beyond me. And, as of the release of this video, Hifi still doesn't have a fix. Way to go, Hifi. Well, that's it. This is my list of favorite gear and companies and a bit of trash talking about the stuff I just can't stand. I'm close to reaching 10,000 subscribers, and I'm hopeful we will reach that goal early next year. I already surpassed 500 review videos, and that was a huge milestone for me. Some of you know that I have a full-time job and I do these reviews as a hobby. 95% of the time, I buy my own gear. I make very little money from my efforts. I do this out of passion. I hope that at least some of my work has been helpful. Here's to the end of 2021 and to the beginning of one more year of setting goals and meeting new achievements. Goodbye 2021, hello 2022. Hey, maybe in 2022 I'll review the ZMF Verite and the Alex Rawson headphones. Cross your fingers I win the lottery. Happy holidays, everyone. I wish you and your families a peaceful transition into the new year. Thank you for taking this journey with me. It's been a pleasure for me.